And we're live. Oh, yeah. It's for the first time. Me and Mr. Fat Don himself. That's right, folks. This is Big Kozi, and I'm here on our new show. I finally got my friend to join me and do all the fun things we like to do. And this week, let me tell you, folks, we're coming at you, and we're going to be talking the Derby. I don't know if you're from Kentucky when you're hearing this, if you live around here or not. I'm telling you, this boy is the man. We call him the long shot monster because this dude can pick 'em. And today I got him with me, and not just today, folks. This is going to be weekly. We're going to talk about racing. We're going to talk about sports, fighting. It depends on what comes up. We always talking, and that's what we're going to be doing weekly here at the Big and Fat Show. I'm Big Kozi. He's Fat Don. Let's go. Let's go, B.
Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. What's up, y'all? Appreciate y'all joining, tapping in. We're going to have some good shit. But
I've been looking forward to this all day. I can't even tell you, all day.
This is a different time of year. You know, it's if you're part of this culture, this is the Super Bowl. This is the World Series, the game, for it all. You know what I mean? This is the national championship, basketball, football, whatever. This is the same shit. A lot of people, and especially people that are from Kentucky, it's always been here. We're used to it. Maybe aren't really educated, but the Oaks and the Derby are the two biggest races.
They're me
in the world.
Yeah, I'm the love Derby time. Love it. It's something I've grown up my whole life with. I still can't read a program. So when it comes to betting, I've always relied on you because you're the man. But I think it's time for everybody to rely on you because you're the man. So that's what I'm excited about. I have no idea who we betting for. Who we betting for? It's almost time. That's what I want to know. And that's why we're here. Anyway, hit me up, man. Tell me. Let's go.
It's my shirt says GOAT, GHOAT, and this is a local brand. It stands for greatest hustler of all time, but really, me, it's the greatest handicapper of all time, Fat Don. They're going to write me down when this shit's all over. But I got 30 years in this shit, legitimately, every weekend for 30 years. I don't play for little money. And what I mean is I'm playing for big returns. Doesn't mean I'm betting as much as, some other people, but my returns, I'm looking for 10 times. So you're not going to sit here and listen to Fat Don and him give you the first two favorites, and you're not going to make no fucking money. No, if we hit, we're hitting. You hear me? And the Oaks and Derby is no different. I got monster selections. I am the long shot monster. I deliver. You can go buy a new car. We're not talking 3, 4, 5,000. We're talking 10 to 50. We're talking a lot of fucking money.
I think I threw up my mouth a little bit. The number was a little higher than I thought it was going to be when you said that.
Yeah. I guess it should be said that I'm a trifecta and a superfecta player, a pick four player. Those are called vertical and horizontal wagers, but we'll get to that more detailed at another time. This biggest weekend in horse racing that there is, we can get right to it. I mean, I don't know if you want to touch on anything, but I mean, we can get right to it.
I think this week is super special. I'm super excited. We'll save all the friendly fun time for next week on a little slower week. We got enough to talk about. You got two fields with 14 in one race and another one with 20. It's 34 horses. That's a lot of time you've been watching. I watched you for 20 seconds and know what. Yeah, I'm just saying it's a lot.
I mean, video handicapping is If you want to take your game to the next level, you need to be willing to put in that time. And maybe not week in, week out, but your big racing days, Kentucky Derby, Preakness, Belmont, Breeders' Cup, there's days where you can win houses. You can win your salary in one day, to put in a little extra work, and that's what I do. Now, I video handicap on a very regular basis, but not as in detailed as, these bigger race days because I don't want to miss anything. I believe the trouble lines for the most part are accurate, but you are likely to see a little bit more if you just take the couple minutes to rewatch the last race or the last few races, because it could say horse was bumped. Maybe the bump didn't affect the horse at all. Maybe it about knocked the motherfucker over. Those are big differences in the outcome of a race. You can actually,
Right.
horse, bump a horse in the ass and goose it, and it's a benefit. You know what I'm saying? So it's all relative to putting in the extra time. And I've put in the extra time. And I mean, my oak superfecta, I think the
Tell me.
bottom of the barrel,
Tell me.
I think the bottom of the barrel payout wise is over
Come on.
5,000. Bottom of the barrel, and I think like bottom of the barrel 10. But let's get into it.
Okay.
Kentucky
Let's do it.
Oaks is grade 1 going a mile and an eighth. It's for 3-year-old fillies. That's it. And it's a point system. So these fillies have earned points in races leading up to this. They're the top 14 point earners for this year. All right. You
Now
don't
they're
get
in the big Super Bowl.
any other year than when you're 3 years old. Same with the Derby. So it's not like we can come back next year and run it. This is your shot.
Okay.
So, okay, they're going a mile and an eighth. The Derby's a mile and a quarter, so it's another eighth of a mile. But this is a distance. It's a test for male or female horses. Really, there's a lot of horses that can't get over a mile, and that's kind of where you separate your class. But in a contested 14 horse field, my top selection is Nostalgic, the 2 horse, trained by Bill Mott, 15-1. That's a fucking insane top choice. But the reason this horse is my top choice is because initially I was on the 1, and that's Secret Oath by D. Wayne Lucas. And D. Wayne Lucas ran his filly against the boys in the Arkansas Derby, and she runs a hell of a third. She ran third by 3.5. The trouble line says bothered break, 6 wide at the 3/8 pole flattened. She still runs third in a group of 9 males. She's the only filly that ran. She runs a good third. She has trouble. She's wide. Now she draws the rail. She's got 7 lifetime starts. In 5 of those lifetime starts, this horse was wide. Being on the rail.
You keep saying wide, and I don't know exactly. I mean, like is she like everybody's over here and she's way over there, or is she like 5 inches away? What do you mean?
The further a horse is from the rail, the longer the race is for that horse. All right. So what it's
I see
6
that.
wide. So this is going to be 6 horses wide, and that's a significant distance amount over a mile and an eighth. That horse might be running closer to a mile and a quarter because the closer to the inside rail that you are is the shortest trip.
Okay.
Makes sense? Because the further out
you're
running. All right. So it says bothered break, So that tells me, and I've looked, she was basically sandwiched, and then goes to make her move, but she has to go way out wide. Still runs third, only by 3.5, with trouble, wide. She was actually the favorite in the Arkansas Derby against the boys. So this horse is great. And I'm looking and I'm like, you're giving me 6-1 on this horse? They go a minute 50-1. She's 3.5 back, so she probably went a minute 51, probably flat with all this trouble. Then I go back to my 2 horse and I'm like, Nostalgic just won the Gazelle at Aqueduct and won it in 150-1. And you're going to give me 15-1 on this horse? No. The Arkansas Derby was definitely tougher competition. The times are the same. And, track to track, some tracks run a little bit faster just naturally. But Oaklawn Park and Aqueduct is where they raced both last time. I'm familiar with their track times in comparison to Churchill Downs. That's shit you only get over doing this shit for, a long fucking time. But they're comparable. The times aren't like, if it was Santa Anita, I say Santa Anita's, they're running a second faster out there than they are here. They run out Santa Anita. I don't know if it's a tailwind. I don't know what it is, but it's a full second, maybe more. So you'll look at Santa Anita times.
They're less gassy. That's what it is, folks. They're less gassy.
I don't know. Maybe it's the weeds leak, but no. I mean, really. So, I'm giving you 15-1 Nostalgic, the 2, over Secret Oath, the 1 at 6-1. My third selection is the 7, which is Steve Asmussen's unbeaten horse in 5 races. She's 5 for 5. She just won the Fairground Oaks after being laid up since November, so she's second off the layoff. It says ears pricked, just lasted. So it's like she was giving it up late. She went wire to wire, but she ended up winning by a nose. All right. So she was giving it up late, but she was still gritty enough to not lose. But she had been laid up since November. So she had been laid up for, say, 4 months. Now she's second off the layoff. And I mean, the horse has never lost. She's never lost. She's 5 for 5. And you're giving me 4-1 on this horse. All right. So this is the second choice morning line. All right. So let's recap. That's 15-1 over 8-1. No, over 6-1, over 4-1. And then my fourth selection is the number 3, Hidden Connection. This horse is 20-1. I mean, so I'm throwing out the favorite. I'm giving you 2 double-digit horses, and I'm basically giving you, 2 double-digit favorites and two double-digit long shots, and not the favorite at all. You've got the second and third choice, and I think if the favorite doesn't hit the board, that automatically makes your payments ridiculous. Then you calculate that the pools on Oaks and Derby are ridiculous. So there's so much more money to chop up. And I'm giving you bombs. And they're live. They're live. I think if it came 3-2, 3-2-7, no, 3-2-1-7, that would be the best combination. And that superfecta would probably pay 50 or 60,000. If it comes worst case of those 4 horses, I think it's probably 10 or better, but I would say at least 5. And they fucked you a little bit. because nobody should have that. Nobody should have that.
Well, let me tell you, I didn't go about it the same way. You sent me the list of names for the Oaks. I took a look at it. I also looked at the number one horse very hard. With a name like Secret Oath, my first thoughts was they need to drug test this horse. He's trying too hard. That's what my thought was. Then I took a good look at the list and started noticing a trend. Most of these horses are what I can believe to be named after strippers. Nostalgic, Candy Raid. Just saying. So I came to the whole list. My pick, the horse I'm getting a lap dance with, folks, Turner Loose, the 14, 20-1.
Yeah.
And I know you told me in a conversation in private that I may not supposed to be sharing, but you like the training fit Cox. Is that correct?
Well, my dad, who's probably the greatest handicapper ever, is a Brad Cox man. Loves him. And then, just on, because, even though I handicap and study, there's still names. Like, that's some shit my dad would say to me, playing youth league basketball. Turn it loose. You know what I'm saying? So it automatically is like one of them things. And then I look, it's my dad's favorite trainer, and he's one of the best there is. And then it's like you look at what the horse has done. The horse is definitely live. I know from talking to my dad earlier, he has the 14. I don't remember exactly where it was in his 4 picks, but, I think it was his second choice. That horse is live. I mean, 14 horses, there's probably 10 of these horses, maybe 11 that could really win this race. This is a very difficult race.
He's saying I got a shot, folks. He's saying I got a shot.
A shot. I mean, Brad Cox is like he's up there. People that don't I mean he's up there. He's like if Baffert was like Phil Jackson, or Popovich or one of them, like he's one of the you have to put him in like your top 5 current.
Well, let's keep it real. My personal bets are what you've told me to bet. I'm betting the 2173. That's what I'm betting. That's my superfecta. But for this show, you told me, look at the names. You don't know nothing. Make a pick. So I did, and this is where I'm at. She's turning her loose.
Yeah, that horse could win. Wouldn't surprise me in the least. I mean, like, I will probably have a bet on that horse, just like a $20 straight bet, because if I'm gonna lose, I'm gonna cover a little too, because that one. And then it's like me and Dad are gonna combine our picks on some, whole.
You like make your own prop bets. That's great.
I don't know. Is there anything else I want to say about this race? I'm interested to see.
The only question I did have a question. So when we talked in prep for this show, when I asked a bunch of questions to you, like what's a horse, where does the jockey sit? When I got through all that, I think you said that the Derby is a longer race than what those horses are used to running. So, and this is when they're running this time, it's a little bit further. So it kind of even throws all the stuff you look at out the window because they're not running that length in the time frames that you're looking at the build-up. Is that correct?
Yes, and that's another reason you should video handicap.
So they've NASCAR'd this, folks. They have NASCAR'd it. I see where they've done with this horse racing bit. All right, I get it now. Well, they still make left turns. It's the correlation. Somebody got it. I'm with it.
Yeah. Okay, so the Derby's a mile and a quarter. The furthest any of the Derby contenders have been is a mile and 3/16. So it's really only a 16th of a mile difference. But another reason you should be video handicapping is so you can watch your horse finish through the wire when he's going a mile and an eighth, and you know, okay, he's got to go another eighth of a mile in the Derby. Is he dying? Or is he still got some ass left? Or is he picking up? Is he gaining ground? You know, all that shit is stuff you'll never see on the form. You're going to see where they finished. They may have won by a neck, but were they completely dead at the wire? Or was it a gutty ass win and they still had some ass left? Can they get that extra eighth of a mile? That's a test every year. Like, you know, the Derby is a race that you don't go wire to wire. I mean, there's been horses that have done it. Don't get me wrong, and you know, it's very tough to do. It's very very tough to do. I mean, it's you know, none of these horses have ever been this far. Where if you look at the Oaks, there's many of the fillies that have been a mile and an eighth. I think
Right.
only one that had won at the distance.
I think we had some audio difficulties there. You look like you broke up. And you're
Well,
back. All right.
ahead
There
of
was a storm going through, so that is a possibility, folks. We were having some weather.
yeah, B lives 3 doors down from Bigfoot.
It's true.
And yeah,
There's a lake. There's a lake. I can't see the lake. I hear about it.
you got a lake monster out there. So what do we need to do? We need to talk about the Derby. Are we done with the Oaks?
Well, no, because I had one more question.
All right.
This is when it comes to the Derby, and I know you normally play all day long. For a gambler who cannot, so we're talking about me specifically, but generalize it for the public. Where do I get my best value? Or am I looking race by race for a value that might be better than, say, the Derby? Or is it because everybody bets at the Derby, it doesn't really matter because, you know, everybody's got kind of good, even, it's such a long shot, everybody's even.
Well, the thing is there's very few horses in either race, the Oaks or the Derby, that you can say can't win. Like, you know, I think 14 of the 20 horses could win the Derby. And it might be one of the 6 that I don't think can win. And, you know,
Right.
that would be crazy. But it's
To add to the flavor of our first show, I can no longer see you because of the storm. It says we're having internet difficulties, but the cameras are still recording, so I can't see you. I can hear you, and we're live.
I can see me and I can't see you. So I don't know if it's getting mined or not, but it's a move.
You don't know what I'm doing over here. I'm
Yeah.
telling you right now. You ain't gonna like it. It's what you told me not to be doing, and I'm making the pew 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 noises, all that stuff. Yeah, I'm sorry.
All right. So
Let's derby it up. I'm ready. I'm ready for the big race.
all right. So I need.
Oh, you're back.
That was the downfall there. So let's see. You may lose my video for a second because this is the part I forgot about. My Derby picks are actually in my phone.
We're firing that production producer.
Yeah, that would be you.
That's right.
But I'm,
Fired.
set up with the other phone, and we might just have
If I'm fired, I'm off. I can re-up.
Okay.
Get ready for the Derby. Derby. I love Derby pie. I love everything about Derby.
Well,
I even like the fireworks that build up to Derby. Derby's great.
I don't mind the Thunder over Louisville. It's just not for me in the physical. I'd rather
No, you can't go there.
I don't want to.
I went 4 years ago to Thunder, and I just got back yesterday. That's how long it takes.
Yeah, it's time. That, and it might be the reason, but it's just a few too many people for me. There's a few too many.
This is from I can't. Yeah, I know you, so I know that. Yeah, I know what you mean.
No, and then you can't get out of there for 10 years. It's tough. All right, so let's talk about the Derby. So the Derby is literally the cream of the crop. There's, no jockey, horse owner, trainer wants to win any other race more than this one. It's like I said, it's the Super Bowl, it's the national championship, it's something that's really special, but I think it gets overlooked because it's 2 minutes. It's not as entertaining as a Super Bowl, but this is what it is. This is the Super Bowl of horse racing, and
right.
As a handicapper, right. It's such a beautiful thing because you have celebrities, athletes, entrepreneurs, whatever. They're in town for Derby. They're betting insane amounts of money. I mean, every year, Tom Brady, Michael Jordan, all guys that are known to play golf for $500,000 a hole. I mean, how much are they betting? So the pools are so much bigger. And it's like, they probably have people advising them. But there's a lot of rich people out there that are betting names. And as a handicapper,
betting names,
you have to be licking your chops because, you're going to win probably. I mean, in most cases, you're probably going to win 3 or 4 times what you normally would just because there's 10 times more in the pool. And I'm saying 3 or 4 times if you've just got some normal shit. If you've got some Fat Don long shot monster shit, you're talking about some shit where you might pay your house off. You might be able to cash out on a new fucking pickup truck or whatever the fuck. I mean, we're talking about real money. We're not trying to win, a few bands. I wouldn't be upset with that. But if I'm willing to put up, let's say $2,500 for the weekend, I want times 10. 25 bands, and that we've definitely got that opportunity just in the Oaks. So the Derby is much the same. I watched almost all the Derby prep races live, so it was just a matter of refreshing and watching a few of those again. Before I actually looked at it collectively, Zandon was my pick, who ended up being the favorite. And I'm still rolling with Zandon, but he's not my top choice anymore. I'm going with the one, Mo Donegal, Todd Pletcher train, 10-1 morning line. That's a beautiful number.
Bringing that Mo D.
I mean, the horse, wins the Wood Memorial, has an excuse in the Holy Bull, wins the Remsen, horse is fairly lightly raced. He's ran 5 times, 3 wins, 2/3. And what I like is the 147-2 at 1 1/8 that he just ran. If you add 12 seconds, which is what I add for 1/8 of a mile, that puts him in at 159-4, and that's a lightning fast time. Lightning fast. That like Secretariat went 159 and change. I don't know if it was 4. Might have been like 159-1 or 2. But I mean, it's stupid fast. So I'm gonna
Right.
say horse is gonna go in 2 minutes flat, and I think everybody else is going 2:01. So that's really the determining factor. But I went with the 1 Mo Donegal over Zandon, who is the
Number 10.
Is it the 10? Yes, the 10
Yeah.
at 3-1, which is giving you the favorite. But where I dropped the bomb, literally, is with my third selection, and that's Tis the Bomb at 30
Is it really?
1. Yes. Yes.
That's my pick.
This is an absolute monster. This horse right here could win the race, which is insane to say, because 30-1, like, most people are really not going to look at this horse. They see 30-1. Nah, it's too much. It's too much. 30-1, and the horse might run dead last. But let me tell you something. Give this motherfucker a clean trip, and Tis the Bomb could win the race. Tis the Bomb wins the race, we're going to completely blow the tote board up. I mean, the horse is going to pay, 60 something.
We're going to have to fire one of these cigars up there, sir.
I'm talking about
if we're going to be hitting, that kind of moolah, I might have to get divorced.
Now, I went
that's a lot of money. She's going to take it all.
But if we would have good oaks and we can really spread, so I've given you Mo Donegal at 10-1, Zandon the favorite at 3-1, Tis the Bomb, one of the longest shots in the race, at 30-1. In the 4 hole, I've got Epicenter, which is the second choice. And then my 5th selection is Charge It, which I believe is the 8. Yes. Todd Fletcher trained. And Charge It is 20-1. So in 5 horses, I give you a 10, a 20, and a 30-1 with the first 2 choices.
So I'm an idiot. So when you tell me this, you've given me 5 horses. Am I wanting to play a trifecta and then box the 5 horses? Is that what I'm wanting to do? Or am I wanting to go really big money and do superfecta and box the 5 horses?
It's all relative, because I don't mind losing my money. I mind losing other people's money. So
you're not losing. All you're doing. Listen, I've told you this before. There are people out here like me. I looked at those names for the Derby, and the only one that resonated with me was Tis the Bomb, because I think I tis be the bomb. So that's why it resonated. But if that hadn't happened, I'd be picking the color I like or the number.
Thing about this horse, Tis the Bomb. Okay, the horse has 8 lifetime starts, has won 5 of them, including the last. Okay, and has won 5 out of the last 7 races. This is the only horse in the field that's won more than $1 million. I mean, I think there's a horse over 8, yeah. But yeah, the only horse in the field that's won over $1 million, and you're going to give me 30-1. And okay, Epicenter's won $1 million, and that's the second choice. But I'm going to get 30-1 on the other $1 million winner. And this horse is
that was a 3 horse.
Yeah, yeah.
3 in the 9.
Tis the Bomb is live. The horse could really win the race. I mean, and you get a 30-1 on top in the Derby. Ooh, baby.
Now,
You know,
are you going to be down there at the track, or are you going to be at home?
no, I will be at my house with my dad, which is what we do
That's great.
every year for as long as I can remember. I can remember being like 5 or 6. And when I was 5, I had my first winter. And I want to be like, it felt like my dad really needed the money. And I think he was really desperate. And he was just like, pick a horse, son. And I remember him laughing. So I know that horse had no shot. That's what I would be. That's why I would laugh. He was like, yeah, of course you picked this horse that's 30-1, and that horse ran second. Dad had bet the trifecta, and I think it paid $300 or $400. And this is 81.
Right.
It's a decent amount of money. And Dad went crazy, and like I'm pumped because my dad's pumped, and it was like I was always at the track. So this is generational. My grandpa, my dad's dad, handicapping legend. My dad, a handicapping legend, and when it's all said and done, I will be too. It's generational. It's the third generation
What
of
do you mean? You're already the long shot monster.
I really
I
am.
love it.
I really am.
I know. Listen, I've known you we're going on since '06. So 16 years.
15.
It's been a minute.
And
yeah. You like this every year, man. I love it.
No, it's very special. It's very special. I can't, if you put like your life into something, I have 3 passions. This is one of them. Regardless of if it's Derby or not, I'm playing the horses every weekend. There'll be a very few weeks out of the year.
That's true.
It's not the Kentucky Derby. It's not the Kentucky Oaks. It's just Saturday night. That's what I do. And over about 25 years, I've won over 20. And maybe several of them years was just, I had deposited 10,000 and I had withdrew 12. It wasn't necessarily that I killed them, but 20 of 25 years where I can legit show that shit, like my TVG account history, and you'll be like, damn, because nobody wins. This is the toughest game in the world. But when you're the long shot mom and you make them hits, you might go dry 3 months. You might go dry 4 months, and then bada boom, bada bing, and it's like, okay, I just got all my money back. Pressures.
Well, that's what it boils down to. You either are the person who believes in nuances and something speaking to you, or you're listening to someone with facts on the ground. I've seen the video. This tends to happen. There's a trend. Let's pay attention to this trend. Let's at least put our money long on the trend. It's like playing poker, man. It's just putting your money on the percentage of what should happen. It doesn't always happen, but it should happen. No. And that's what you're doing. And I will trust that over my gut any day, because my gut is terrible at this game.
Well, here's what I'll tell you.
I don't think I've ever walked away a winner.
Mic check 1, 2. So let's just say you don't play my picks. I want you to play yours. And this is what I want you to do. I want you to pick 4 horses, and I want you to put them in a superfecta box. That's going to cost you $24. I want you to put them in a trifecta.
Let's do it now. Let's do my strippers.
That's going to cost you $24. But I'm just saying this to the public, because if you're right and you hit the superfecta, for the last 25 years, the average superfecta in the Kentucky Derby is $50,000. So for $24, you stand to win a crazy amount of money. That's just one of your bets. Now that is the big one, but I've seen it pay well into the a few $100,000. So 50 is just the average. You might win 5, but for $24, and you could just go in there and pick names, and you could be right. I've seen it happen. So why
I've,
here
I'm
throw?
here to testify when it doesn't happen.
I
It's
mean,
not happening.
and every year,
But I also haven't won the lottery, and I get my ticket. So, and I play the same numbers. So
but
I know what that's like.
this is and this is why the Derby Superfecta averages 50,000, because the combinations of 4 within 20 is in the hundreds of thousands. It's unreal. My phone's about to die, but
Well, let's sum it up. Let's tighten this up. We went 40 minutes. We went longer than we said we was going to go. Let's sum it up.
all right. So
First of all, it's great that we're doing this. We're going to be in it. You'll pick the track every week. You'll tell us what horses we're going to go down. We'll get this thing posted up on Fridays. It'll be up sometime before lunch. So you'll be able to play after lunch with whatever's going on all through Friday night and Saturday night with whatever B's going to be talking about. And we are going to really, you know how it goes when we talk, man. It just goes, sometimes it goes off the rails. That's what I want. That's all I want. As a comedian, that's all I want, is to be here with you and get the opportunity to go off the rails, because you bring out some crazy stuff. You have some stories too. It's great. Love it. That's what I want to promote. That's it. I was waiting for your picks. I'm super excited. And to recap, in the Oaks, we are going with the 2-1-7-3. And in the Derby, folks, we're going with the 1-10-9-3. And we threw an extra value in there with the 8.
yes. So if we hit the Oaks, you've got plenty of money to play the Derby. You could add probably several horses because you're going to have just won 5.
We, for those who were paying attention, don't forget, I had
You had Tisla.
No, that was in the Derby in the Oaks.
And yeah, in the Derby you had Tiz the Bomb. In the Oaks you had
Turner Loose, the
Turner.
14.
That's it.
Trainer Cox. That's the one I went with.
You're a Cox man.
You heard it here first. That's what she used to think.
Yeah. Well, all I'll say is anybody that rolls with me, I hope we take it down, because, man, it's going to be crazy.
I hear that. Well, man, enjoy your weekend, sir. I'll be hollering at you on Monday when I tell you how wrong we might have been.
It's quite possible.
Or not. We'll see. Well, man, it's good seeing you. I look forward to it next week.
Yes, sir.
All right, bro. Bye.
Later.